Would you hand your teenager the keys to a car? Make sure they check the tyres and the brake booster, buckle their seatbelt, and then put them on a busy highway and ask them to wear this? Of course not. That would be certifiably insane. They'd likely crash in seconds. No matter how good the brakes or tyres are, if they can't see the road, the safety features don't matter all that much. But that is sort of what we do to kids in youth football. Kids spend hours dribbling through cones, staring at their feet, staring at the ground. We are effectively training them to drive blindfolded, and that is part of the reason why we're seeing an epidemic of non-contact injuries. Think about the average practice. Neat rows of cones, kids looking down, no defenders, or if there are any, the decisions of what to do has already been made by the coach. The coach feels good because it looks like training. It's like learning to drive in an empty parking lot on a Sunday morning. It's predictable. It looks organized and clean. Nothing unexpected happens. You decide when and where to turn and stop. There is no traffic. It feels safe. But the game is rush hour traffic. It's chaotic. People cut you off. The road conditions change. Suddenly a pothole appears that wasn't there yesterday. In a game, players don't turn because they necessarily want to. They turn because a defender cuts them off. They stop because the space is closed down. The traffic dictates a lot of their movements. When you take a child who only knows the parking lot and throw them straight into rush hour, they predictably crash and are at risk of injury. Not because of the brakes or the seatbelt, not because they aren't fit or strong, but because they never learned to read traffic and the road together. Now, here is why it matters to your kid. Most severe injuries, like ACL ruptures, are not caused by direct contact. It's usually not because they get crunched in a tackle. Most of the time, it happens without anyone making contact with them. Why? Because they were trained in a parking lot, where shit very rarely happens. They never learned to read the traffic, so when shit does happen in the chaos of a game, they are naturally surprised. They react too late. They make a desperate, awkward movement that their body simply isn't ready for. And this is where the injury happens. Think of their muscles as the brakes, and their ligaments, their ACLs among others, as the seatbelt. If a driver sees a potentially dangerous situation coming up, they can hit the brakes early. The car slows down, they stay in control. But if the driver is blindfolded, if they don't read the game because they've been staring at cones all week, they don't hit the brakes until it's too late. And by then, the force is too high. The brakes simply can't stop them in time, even though stronger brakes will make it possible to brake later. And when the brakes can't stop them in time, the only thing left to save them from injury is the seatbelt. But the seatbelt is the last line of defense. It's not designed to steer or slow the car. It's there to limit the damage. And if the crash is hard enough, or in this analogy, the movement is awkward enough, the seatbelt snaps. Yeah, I know the analogy isn't perfect, but it's still quite useful. We can't strength train our way out of a bad driver, although good brakes and being stronger never hurt. We have to take the blindfold off. We need to get them out of the parking lot and into traffic. We need training that looks like the game. Messy, chaotic, full of real decisions. When they learn to read traffic in practice, they're far less likely to get surprised in a game. They can anticipate and adapt to the movement. They can brake early if needed. They can avoid the crash, the awkward movement, entirely. By doing that, you can help them avoid having knees like this when they're 40. Now, take a look at your child's next practice. Is it a quiet parking lot? Or is it rush hour traffic? If it's just lines of cones, that is a red flag. I've put together a sideline audit to help you spot these red flags. It's a simple checklist to see if your coach is training the driver or just polishing a car that's waiting to crash. The link is in the description below. Download it, check the practice, and let's keep them safe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.